Hola, muy buenas tardes, muy buenos días, ¿cómo están? Yo estoy muy bien en este día muy bonita, this day, and today hoy vamos a hablar de los adjetivos demostrativos, or demonstrative adjectives. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so demonstrative adjectives are used to demonstrate or point out certain nouns. And so we're using these essentially as adjectives, and this is going to change our use of these because they're going to account for gender and number, right? So they're used to demonstrate or point out nouns, okay? And demonstrative adjectives they go before the nouns they modify, like este vaso, right? Este vaso, this cup, right? And they go before the nouns they modify. And like other Spanish adjectives, you have to make sure they agree in gender and in number, okay? So let's look at the examples below, and then we'll get to the chart. Now make sure you're following along with your lecture notes, and the PowerPoint will be posted below. There will be no additional assignment on Canvas due to this, but make sure you're completing your VHL homework that are under 6.4 demonstrative adjectives. Okay, so let's look at these examples. All right, here we have esta camisa, right? Esta camisa, this shirt, este vaso, okay? Now, an important thing I have learned for these is this and these have T's. That and those do not, okay? This and these have T's. And we'll look at the chart here and you'll see what I mean. But let's look at the other example. Ese vendedor, right? Or ese vaso, right? Ese vaso. Este vaso. Ese vaso. Okay? And then we have things like aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas, okay? And that are like those over there. These words are like those over there. I'm from the South, so to me it's like those over yonder, right? Those way over there, okay? Ovar, right? Aquellos, way over there, over yonder, okay? Whereas este, this, that, those over there, or that one over there, okay? Aquellos zapatos. Okay, let's look at the chart here. So we have singular and plural for each of the three types, this and these, that and those, and that and those over there, okay? And we also have masculine and feminine for both of the singular and plural. So there's 4 different possibilities depending on your nouns, right? Singular masculine, singular feminine, plural masculine, plural feminine, okay? And like I was saying, this and these have T's. This and these have T's. So that will help you keep these in order and help you remember them. This and these have T's, that and those do not, okay? So you have este, esta, estos, and estas. Now you can see it's a little bit different from what you would expect, right? I would expect esto to be here and eso and aquello, right? That would make sense since the plural is with an O, but it's kind of like our masculine definite articles, our singular masculine definite articles, el or un, even our indefinite articles, okay? They're a bit different from what we would think they may be, okay? Now on to that and those. Remember, that and those do not have T's. So ese, esa, esos, and esas, okay? And then finally for those over there or over yonder, we have aquel, aquella, aquellos, and aquellas, okay? Aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas. That's those over there. Now, let's look at specific examples of when we would use this. And a lot of this has to do with the relation of the item in terms of the speaker, okay? And the person that the speaker is talking to, okay? So we have those 3 sets of demonstrative adjectives, and to determine which one to use, like I was saying, you must establish the relationship, la relación entre, between the speaker and the noun being pointed out. So, the demonstrative adjectives este, esta, estos, and estas are used to point out things that are close to the speaker and the listener. Este vaso, right? Este vaso, this cup, it's close to you. and it's close to me, okay? So those are used to point out things that are close to the listener and the speaker, right? So as we can see in the photo below, a woman is pointing out the man's shoes. She says, "Me gustan estos zapatos." I like those shoes, right? Or excuse me, I like these shoes. Remember, this and these have T's, right? I like these shoes. Me gustan estos zapatos. I like these shoes. Muy bien. Now let's look at for ese, esa, esos, and esas. And they're used to point out things that are not close in space and time to the speaker. However, they may be close to the listener. Okay? So if you guys were over here, right, back in the corner, I don't know why you would be, but that would be ese vaso, right? Ese vaso. It doesn't have to be close to the listener, but they may be. But they're definitely not close to the speaker. Now, we do this in English too, right? You wouldn't say that cup, you'd say this cup, because I have it in my hand, right? Or este control remoto, right? Esa lámpara, that lámpara, right? We would say that's that lamp, not this lamp, okay? Because it's not close to us. Okay, so just remember that when we're using ese, esa, esos, and esas, are things that are not close to the speaker, but they may be close to the listener. Now, for aquel, aquella, aquellos, and aquellas, okay, these are used to point out things that are far away from both the speaker and the listener. Okay, so if you're sitting here next to me and we were talking about something outside, we would say aquella casa, right? That house over there. Okay. Esta casa es la mía, right? But aquella casa would be far from both of us, right? And it would be that over there or over yonder, right? Further than esa, and also not close to either the speaker or the listener. Okay, so here's an example. The man says, aquel auto es de mi hermana. Aquel auto es de mi hermana, right? That car over there is my sister's. Okay, this example here, prefiero esos zapatos. I don't like these shoes. I prefer those shoes, right? This and these have T's, that and those do not. This and these have T's. So she's saying here, I prefer those shoes, right? He's a little closer to the shoes and she's further away, right? So those shoes over there, not these shoes that he has on, but those shoes. Okay, muy bien. Now, the difference here between our demonstrative adjectives and our demonstrative pronouns is what we're doing is we're going to replace the noun with just a standalone pronoun, okay? So demonstrative pronouns are identical to their corresponding demonstrative adjectives with the exception that they traditionally carry an accent mark on the stress vowel. Now, that's no longer required by the Real Academia Española. However, it kind of helps you keep them differentiated. And remember, I've said why we use accents. One is to show an interrogative word, right? Like a question word. The other is to differentiate between two words that are spelled the same, and that would be the case here. And the third would be able to, change the pronunciation, to tell us where the stress, on what stress the syllable is of the word, okay? This is to differentiate between an adjective and a pronoun. Although no longer required, it does kind of help you to differentiate, okay? So let's look at these. Now, they're the exact same. They're the exact same as our demonstrative adjectives, except they carry that accent and they stand alone, right? So let's look at some examples. ¿Quieres comprar este suéter? No, no quiero este. No, I don't want this one. I want that one. So although in English we have to put that one, right, or this one over there, or that one, you do not have to do that in Spanish. The pronoun contains that one, right? So no, no quiero este, quiero ese. No, I don't want this one. I want that one. Okay. ¿Vas a leer estas revistas? Sí, voy a leer estas. También voy a leer aquellas, right? Those over there. También voy a leer aquellas. Okay. So that's just, I'm going to read these, right? I'll also read those over there. Okay. Muy bien. Now, like demonstrative adjectives, demonstrative pronouns agree in gender and number with the corresponding noun because they're essentially just functioning as an adjective, right? And then you're gendering that noun, right? Because what we're doing is we're replacing this noun with our pronoun, okay? So, este libro es de Pablito. If we were just wanting to say, this is Pablo's, este es de Pablito. Este es de Pablito, right? So it's going to keep the same ending as your demonstrative adjective would. Estos son de Juana, or you could say estos libros son de Juana as an adjective when a noun is following, or as a pronoun with it standalone. Estos son de Juana. Okay, muy bien. Now, this is also important. So we have 3 neuter demonstrative pronouns as well, and neuter essentially means without gender. And these are used to refer to unidentified or unspecified things, situations, ideas, and concepts, right? Nouns. And they do not change in gender or number and never carry an accent mark. And these are used because you might not know the gender of that noun. You might not know what something is. It's unidentified. It's unspecified, okay? You're not putting a gender on anything. So for example, if I'm looking at this, this pen, regardless of the gender of that noun or the number, we can say, what is this? ¿Qué es esto? Remember, this and these have T's. ¿Qué es esto? What is this? Okay? Also, if you're asking that question, you may not know what that word is or the gender of that noun, right? Now, if you wanted to say just something like, oh, that's cool, or that's interesting, eso es interesante. We're not gendering anything. We're not specifying a noun. We're not identifying a noun. So we use this neuter, right? Meaning no gender, okay? Bien. And then we also have aquello. Aquello es bonito. All right, now, so you really need to be very careful that you are not using these you're not using these neuter pronouns as your demonstrative adjectives or demonstrative pronouns, okay? So look at the difference here, right? We have este, ese, and aquel. Make sure you are not using these neuter pronouns as your demonstrative adjectives or demonstrative pronouns, okay? Because we're using those, we're identifying something and gendering and numbering it, right? So they do not change in gender or number and never carry an accent mark. So just be careful on that, right? If you're just wanting to say, oh, what is this? Or that's interesting. This is when we're going to be using our neuters, right? Ok, muy bien. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí hoy y nos vemos pronto. Adiós. And don't forget, test on Sunday. Your quiz will be due by the end of today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be uploading a test review, a video test review, as well as the document tomorrow. That way you guys can study for the test that will be uploaded tomorrow as well. So, muchas gracias y nos vemos pronto. Adiós.